Again, Acts chapter 7, I'll take to verse 20 because it's like almost 60 verses. So this is the first part of 3. 7:1 Acts. Uh, Stephen talked to the Sanhedrin. Then the high priest asked him, "Are these charges true?" To this he replied, "Stephen, brothers and fathers, listen to me. The God of glory appeared to our father Abraham while he was still in Mesopotamia, before he lived in Haran. Leave your country and your people," God said, "and go to the land I will show you." So he left the land of the Chaldeans and settled in Haran. After the death of his father, God sent him to this land, the Israelite land, where you are now living. He gave him no inheritance here, not even a foot on the ground, but God promised him that he and his descendants after him would possess the land. Even though at that time Abraham had no child, God spoke to him in this way: "Your descendants will be the strangers in the country, Egypt, not their own, and they will be enslaved and mistreated 400 years. But I will punish the nation that they serve as slaves." God said, "And afterward they will come out of the country and worship me here and in this place that he gave Abraham, the covenant of circumcision." And Abraham became the father of Isaac, and Isaac him 8 days after his birth he circumcised him. Later Isaac became the father of Jacob, and Jacob became the father of the 12 patriarchs, 12 sons of Israel. Because the patriarchs were jealous of Joseph, his brothers, they sold him to Egypt to slavery, but God was with Joseph and rescued him out of his troubles. He gave Joseph wisdom and enabled him to gain the goodwill of the Pharaoh, king of Egypt, so that he made him ruler over Egypt and all his policy, except just under Pharaoh. Then the famine struck in Egypt and Canaan, bringing great suffering, and our fathers had no food. When Jacob heard that there was grain in Egypt, he sent our fathers, the 12 sons of his, to visit there for food. And on their second visit, Joseph told his brothers who he was, because they didn't recognize him. And Pharaoh learned about Joseph's family. After this, Joseph sent for his father Jacob and his whole family, to 75 in all. Then Jacob went down to Egypt, where he and his fathers died. Then their bodies were brought back to Shechem, back to the land of Israel, from Egypt, and placed in a tomb that Abraham had bought for the sons of Hamor and Shechem for a certain sum of money. 17. And at this time, as the time drew near for God to fulfill his promise to Abraham, the number of our people in Egypt greatly increased, that another king now, who didn't know Joseph, became ruler, and he dealt treacherously with our people and oppressed them and forced them into slavery. And he killed throughout their newborn babies at that time. Verse 20, the last verse, I'll finish here. Then it'll be 20 to 40 and 40 to 59. At that time Moses was born, which means drawn from the water, because his mother put him in the water because they're killing the babies, knowing that's where, what's the name, Wash, the daughter of Pharaoh, that she'd save him and take him for her own. At that time Moses was born, and he was no ordinary child. For just 3 months he was cared for in his father's house. That's where I'll end today. I'll pick up 21 later. Okay, bye.